Hi, I'm Kyle, and in this video, I'm ranking all of my sketches from 2024 from worst to best, as voted on by me, because this is my channel, not a democracy.
I'm shaking in my custom baby seal leather boots.
For my last place, I decided to go with my Megamind sketch. Megamind is one of my favorite movies, and I just felt like it didn't live up to that. And I even debated on if I was going to post it or not, but I decided to post it anyways because I felt it got across the meme all right.
But hey, that's just a theory.
Overall, looking back at my sketches from the past year, this MatPat sketch and the Megamind sketch are the only ones that I'm not totally satisfied with. I didn't feel like this one deserved to be last place because I felt like it was a little bit more difficult to pull off than the Megamind sketch, but I just overall wouldn't say that it looks quite enough like MatPat to be ranked any higher than 18. So I actually think this Jason Voorhees sketch ended up really good. I mean, there's some issues. The eyes are a little bit wonky, and I messed up the mask in a couple of places, and I think that the jacket that he wears could have looked a little bit better. But I think it probably doesn't deserve to be this low. But I can't manage to put it anywhere higher than this out of bitterness for how big of a pain in the butt this was to draw. I hated doing this one. Each one of those little holes in his mask was just so tedious to do. When I have to quit Etch-a-Sketch art because of my early onset arthritis, this is the reason. This is the sketch to look to. Anyway, that's number 17.
Think, Mark!
So between YouTube and TikTok, this Invincible sketch is definitely one of my more popular ones that I've uploaded. But that's a little bit crazy to me because I honestly wasn't that big of a fan of it. I was pretty close to actually just redoing the whole thing. I ended up deciding not to because the sketch took forever and I have a full-time job. But yeah, I just felt like Omni-Man's face looked off and out of proportion, and Mark's face was even worse. Anyway, I guess it worked out all right because it got way more views than most everything else I'm about to rank above it. I do really like this Goku sketch, except for the fact that I got the face way too wide. I was able to fix it for the most part, but for me it's kind of hard to unsee, so I felt like 15 was appropriate for this sketch.
Yeah!
I was really happy with how this one turned out, and I really wanted to rank it higher than it is right now, but I can't because I forgot one detail, this one line. I just need to put one more line there to complete the lawnmower. Luckily, that's a super easy fix on an Etch-a-Sketch as long as I don't erase it.
Jinx! Jinx again!
This is the point where I feel like we're getting into the sketches that I really did like. This one in particular took way too many attempts. I was honestly about to give up on drawing Jinx entirely until I was finally able to make this sketch. Now, I still felt like I couldn't rank it too high up because it's not totally accurate when I put it side by side to Jinx, but I still think it turned out looking really cool, and especially when I compare it to how the sketches were coming out before, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Just a side note, this is where I was going to put in one of my horribly failed sketches of Jinx, but I must have deleted that, so just pretend that there's a poorly drawn Jinx right here.
You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?
Hey, future editor Kyle here. I was originally going to put that soundbite right here, but YouTube kept trying to copyright claim it, so if you could just pretend like that sound is going on for the next 20 seconds, that would be great. Thank you. Alright, this Mickey Mouse sketch gets some automatic brownie points when it comes to my ranking just because it is by far the most successful video I've ever made. Just to put it in perspective, the total view count that I have across my entire YouTube channel, every video I've ever made, including shorts, is 1,300,000 views. 1,100,000 of those are from this video alone. Also, the video itself was pretty fun to make.
Let's go out there and make people smile!
In my opinion, this Smiling Friend sketch in and of itself wasn't the most impressive Etch-a-Sketch art I've done by any means, but I had a lot of fun with it because I didn't just do this sketch itself. I did a whole compilation of sketches for this video, and I used that to kind of recreate the actual scene from the Smiling Friends episode. If you want to see that, I'm putting links to all the original videos in the description. But yeah, it didn't really go crazy on views by any means, but I don't know, I thought it was pretty neat.
Her sister was a witch!
So I thought that this Wicked poster recreation looked pretty cool, but it's simple enough that I wasn't really sure if I should put it this high on the list, but I really felt like I had to because I cannot believe that I got this detail right. The witch above the eye in the logo, it seems super simple, but believe me, I thought there was no way I was going to pull it off. I honestly thought I was going to have to draw over it, but I ended up being really happy with it.
I can deny it no longer! I am small.
This one was really simple, but I don't know. I thought it looked good, and I have a soft spot for SpongeBob. So number 8 just felt right, you know?
What are you doing in my swamp?
So I'm mainly putting the Shrek sketch this high out of spite because I thought it was going to do numbers, and it did all right, but it only has 0.17% of the views of the Mickey Mouse sketch. And while the Mickey Mouse sketch is a good one and probably better than this Shrek sketch, I don't think that it's 573 times better than the Shrek sketch. Also, I titled it Shrek-a-Sketch, and I thought that was funny. I would say that for the majority of my sketches, if I want it to come out looking really cool at the end, I've got to give it a few attempts. But every once in a while, one will just come out way better than I expect it the very first time. And that was how this one was, which always makes it a lot more fun. But I really just liked this one because it felt like it came out way cooler than it had any right to be for a drawing on an Etch-a-Sketch.
Captain Deadpool.
This Deadpool and Wolverine sketch might not be getting number 1 this year, but it's definitely the one I'm probably the proudest of this year. Just because I had an idea for how I wanted this one to look for a really long time, but I didn't really have any pre-existing images I could base it off of. And also I hate drawing hands, so I really debated on going with something simpler, something where I wouldn't have to draw anybody's hands. But now that I've made it, I really like how it turned out, and I'm really glad that I went forward with it. This Taylor Swift sketch is by far the hardest one I have ever done. I never would have guessed that that would be the case when I started trying it, but I failed so many times that I legit thought that it was going to be impossible. I even uploaded a YouTube short about how I had failed so many times at drawing Taylor Swift that I was just going to give up and draw a hot dog instead. Link to that video in the description if you want to see what happens when my sketches go really wrong. Anyway, I finally made this one, which is not perfect, but you can at least tell it's Taylor Swift, and that's good enough for number 4 in my book.
It's a giraffe!
Rounded out my top 3, I know this one is a bit different from the others, considering the others are all covering characters, whereas this one is just a giraffe. But I like my giraffe. I think it's cool. Also, I always thought it would be really fun to make a sketch that goes across multiple Etch-a-Sketches, and I feel like this one was a really fun way to use that.
What is up, my guy?
I honestly can't give any really specific reasons why I'm putting this one all the way up at number 2. I just really liked it and thought it was super satisfying and fun to draw. And also, it went gangbusters on TikTok compared to my normal posts. Okay, so this one wasn't one of my regular sketches and I just made it for a TikTok trend, so I didn't put it in the actual count, but it's by far my most popular video on TikTok and it was made this year, so I thought I'd just share it right here.
Y'all could stop making these videos saying I'm easy to draw.
Oh, how?
I decided to give my number 1 slot for my favorite sketch of 2024 to Stitch. It's probably one of the simplest sketches that I posted this entire year, but look how good it turned out. It just made me happy to look at. Also, I felt like it deserved a bit more credit because the video only got 37 views and at least 20 of those were from my mom. Anyway, that's how I rank all of my sketches for 2024. Be sure to tell me what you think in the comments, what your favorite was, and be sure to subscribe because I have plenty more thoughts of different videos and sketches that I'd like to make in the future. Thank you so much for watching.